Testing 1 2 1 2. AC Sports Live on a Tuesday, like we always do, the 24th day of February, this Black History Month, the last week of Black History Month. At least on my calendar, that's what it reads. AC Sports Live brought to you by All In CDL Training, DEM Clothing, and Cannon Nation Boxing. Partnership reunited, and it feels so good. We are with Sideline Sports. Sideline Sports CEO JB Ellis and the gang. Shout out to John J, Denzel Snipes, The Ride, Chevy and Nasty, Chris Rubio's in the mix, and a lot more. So Sideline Sports. Let's just throw that logo up there. There we go. AC2 will be joining me shortly. Rubio in the mix. Showtime. Today's show, gonna tackle some tougher topics today. The mental health problem in the NFL. Players skipping the combine. And then something a little bit lighter to wrap things up. The Terry Donahue, California showcase was this Saturday. And AC2 and I were coaches at the camp. And we'll talk about some of our takeaways and what we took from the camp. Sad news this week as the NFL lost another rising star. Denzel Snipes in the building. What it do, what it is, and what it could be. Ronyale Moore, 5-year NFL vet. Unalived himself in his garage. And of course, the CTE conversation comes up once again. But I'm wondering, man. 25 years old, 24 years old, like Marshawn, the guy from the Cowboys who did the same thing this time last year. I think AC2 is in the green room, getting ready to pop on. You're a little bit out of focus. Let me see if you can't get your camera focused up a little bit. And previous to Marshawn was Kyron Lacey, who felt there's no way out in his situation. And now we have Ronyale Moore. I'll get you caught up to speed, AC2. Talking about NFL players and their mental health. And let's just start. Yeah. Let's bring a topic and make it more of a mainstream, because we had a good thing going several years back talking about men's mental health, and I wonder if that conversation need to be a every week thing on a lot more podcasts. I know the Pivot does it with Ryan Clark and the gang, but Ronyale Moore, who has had a lot of injuries in his short career, and he seemed, as you watch some of the videos of him in his first couple years when he was with the Arizona Cardinals, And he was one of those players that was really, really intense. And when things weren't going right, he had to be talked down a lot and told and reminded that this is just a game and small mistakes can be corrected. Just go out there and ball like you know how. But you're a young guy in the mix, and you've seen the last few years guys your age or a little bit older have this as their go-to, just to say, forget it, I'm just going to be not here anymore. What do you think about when you see things like that? Because you are in the pressure of performing or else. What do you think about when you see stories like that?
It breaks my heart, honestly. It's like you see a bunch of guys my age just taking their lives because they just think it's all over. I hope and pray that the game is never that deep. I sometimes have to remind myself sometimes that the game is not as big of a deal as I make it to be. Something that we all want to be successful in, but mistakes and bumps will come with this playing this very sport. Mental health matters. I hate seeing these situations happen over and over, but it just breaks my heart. Yeah.
So, sports psychologists and therapists and specialists and those things are accessible. When you were at San Jose State, didn't you guys have somebody that you guys could go see if you had anything that you were concerned about?
Yes, we did. We had a sports psychologist. I don't think many colleges have access to those things, but San Jose State definitely did. We would come and talk to him. Matter of fact, I did it a couple times. Whenever you were feeling homesick or feeling like out of the mix, I think it's a good thing that a couple of schools have that because you never know what these players are going through. The game is hard. Your coaches are on you tough. So there's a lot of emotions.
I remember those dark days not knowing what my future was. Case in point, I was playing for the New Orleans Saints, and I go from getting reps to not getting reps. I go from having my name called in meetings to not hearing my name called in meetings, and then having gone a couple of days without getting any reps. And before you know it, you feel invincible. You feel like you're not even on the team, and you begin the process of thinking that maybe I'm not good and maybe it's over. I was always playing on borrowed time, in that I was just grateful to be in the building, and I knew that my talent and my pedigree would only go so far because I was still very young when it comes to playing defense and being a natural defender. I was trying to fake it till I make it. So I was trying to do everything I could to make the team, stay on the team, and be valuable. But as soon as I got injured, and then I was kind of like damaged goods. And then you really start having to think about your future because your body will tell you when it's time to stop. But these young men, with Ronyale Moore having injury after injury, missing the last 2 seasons, this one may not even be CTE because he was a undersized receiver, and I'm sure he always had a chip on his shoulder because he was always told he was too small. And now you're always injured. That's why I think it's very important. Like I taught you, you're a football player, but it's not who you are. It's what you do for the time being. It's what I do for this period of time in my life. If you define yourself as the athlete that you are and that's it, that's what's dangerous. So you said San Jose State had a sports psychologist that you guys could go see. NFL teams, I imagine have them as well.
Yes.
But did you ever feel like there was a stigma that you should not go see the sports psychologist, that it was deemed soft, or somebody that's a mental case? Why are you seeing the sports psychologist? Was it looked down, frowned upon by your teammates?
No, I'd say Coach Brandon did a good job of emphasizing that it was an important factor when it came to playing. A lot of our guys were not from California, so they were missing home. A lot of our guys very hard on themselves, kind of like Rondale Moore's situation. You just need that somebody that can just bring you back to where you need to be, and just remind you that what you're going through is not as bad as you seem, and you will make it out. You'll be all right. So I really appreciate them having that be accessible to us.
Now, the recent other cases, Marshawn Nealon from the Cowboys and Kyron Lacey from the LSU Tigers, who was going to be a very high draft pick, their situations were all different. Marshawn Nealon was missing his mother. He was healthy. Yeah. He has just scored his first NFL touchdown. Yeah. Kyron Lacey felt that he was being pinned as guilty in a hit and run murder, hit and run accidental death. Whatever he was told was bad information, because after he unalived himself, they found out that he was not at fault. Yeah. So it was really senseless, but we have to preach that that's not the answer, fellas. You leave behind so many people hurt and without any type of way to talk you out of it, because you went and did something so quick and easy and selfish. And we did a great job promoting men's mental health during the pandemic. We just got to get back to it, because the more we talk about it, the more we'll give guys different ideas. If that's your first instinct, we got to change that. If that's what blurts out of your mind, it's like Tourette's. And we're hearing a lot about Tourette's because of what happened at the award show, when the man that has Tourette's said "B N-word" during the Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo presentation, and everybody's saying, well, he has Tourette syndrome. Have some sympathy or whatever. But I'm like, that's what he says when the black dudes are up there giving out an award. It's what comes out. It's just what the instinct is. This is not the same thing. That things are going bad, so I'm going to unalive myself. It's not. These are evil spirits, man. Call it what it is. Evil spirits. They suggest things. They suggest you do these things. This is what you should do. And if there's no one around, there's no foundation, you don't have Yeshua in your life, you don't have no peace, you have no shalom, the noise is too much, and you get what you get. You get this right here. Sad, man. I feel for the family. The Purdue Boilermaker family, that's where he went to college. And then the Viking, Jimmy Mack's son is a fan. So his young son is a fan of Ronyale Moore. And he had to explain to his son what happened and how this could occur. So it's tough, man. It really is tough. And it's not just football, it's life. We won't hear about people who don't have a celebrity lifestyle. There are people that do this all the time. We just don't hear about them. And it's unfortunate, because you can't recover from that. That's a done deal. So thoughts and prayers to the Moore family, the Minnesota Vikings family, all his teammates, all of the kids who looked up to him. Tough, man. Really tough. All right, so on a changing gears vibe, the NFL Combine is happening, but we're hearing about a lot of people, a lot of players, and even GMs are skipping. GMs are skipping the Combine because they know who they want to draft, And players are deciding not to participate in certain drills to avoid exposure or for whatever reason. You will be in this type of environment in a couple of years, God willing.
Mm-hmm.
What would make you not want to compete, demonstrate, show off what you can do at the combine?
If I'm already a solidified pick, I don't want to risk injury. But knowing me, I'd want to show off my 40 because I know I'm going to run a good time. So I'm definitely going to try and participate in the drills I know I'm going to excel in just to boost my draft stock. But when it comes to like guys just sitting out because they know they're solidified, my tape speaks for itself. Like, I get it, 100% get it. I'd probably do the same thing if I was in their shoes. So I can't really get mad at it.
Why do you think Fernando Mendoza's not throwing?
If you go through the season and watch his tape, it was kind of unanimous that he was the most accurate passer in the college football. So I think that's the kind of approach he's taking. I'm sure Curt Cignetti told him to let his film speak for itself. Protect your where you are. He's in a good situation. He's liked by the media, all that. So I think he won't hurt himself by not participating.
I'm wondering if the NFL Network is on trial because they're the ones making the most noise because the product of the show. See, we've been spoiled the last 10, 15 years where even when I played, it's a big time show. Watching the combine and seeing the stars work out just to be graded down. Like their film does not equate to the numbers that they're producing at the combine, and you'll see their draft stock drop. We saw Shedeur Sanders' stock drop at the combine because of how he carried himself, so to speak, as some may say. He didn't throw, and they deemed him, arrogant, and he'll be a problem for the team. Where this year, Fernando Mendoza is deciding not to throw. Let's see what he is supposed to. I mean, they still project him as number 1 overall going to the Raiders.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So is there some type of double standard here? There always is.
Even if there is a double standard, they're definitely going to bring in the fact that Fernando is the Heisman national champion signal caller. So it's like a lot of factors go into it. Of course, I'm a big Shedeur fan. I think he can put any ball on the money. Have no problem investing him, like I said a couple weeks ago. But it's like Fernando Mendoza did all the right things he needed to do to be in the position that he's in today. I'm sure he has a lot of people in his ear, like I said earlier, like Curt Cignetti and all them, telling him not to participate because you're good. You already solidified yourself. You've done everything that you could. I don't think there's nothing left that Fernando Mendoza has to prove. Of course, Shedeur will always have the naysayers because he got his jersey number retired. He threw a lot of check down passes. They didn't win their conference, all that stuff. They'll always use against Shedeur and use to justify why they did that to him. But when it comes to Fernando's situation, I think it's a little bit different. Of course, the double standard, we don't really want to get into it. I feel like Shedeur is on his level, if not better. But I'm going to continue to support both guys, and I understand both of their situations. I'm not going to get too deep into it.
Yeah, I mean, we can always throw it out there, and they'll say, why you always got to be about that? Because it is. Is this man a game changer or a game manager? And everybody will say manager. He just doesn't mess it up. He's a smart kid, makes all the right throws. But do you draft a manager number 1 overall? Of all the beasts in this draft, from the double D ends at Miami to the linebacker at Texas Tech to all these monsters who are going to play day 1, to a quarterback that might need 3 years to develop in Mendoza, the Raiders are still going to take him number one overall.
Yeah, because I think the reason why they're going to take him over number one overall is because the Raiders need a quarterback. You see the Geno Smith situation; it's just not a good fit. I know they had Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll brought him over from the Seahawks, but it was just different. Like the weapons he had, it just wasn't a good fit. The chemistry's off. Geno would definitely thrive going somewhere else. I think his breakout season, the one where he was like, they wrote me off, but I didn't write back. That was great, but then they game planned him the next season. So like, you have to find something new. I don't think he's a washed up quarterback entirely, but I think he needs a change of scenery. The Raiders are just struggling at the quarterback position, and I think Fernando Mendoza would be a good guy to change that program. So I think that's why they're looking at Fernando, because like, what better option is there in this draft? The guy's done no wrong so far. Like, this whole last season was almost perfect. I think he had more touchdown passes than incompletions. Like, that was crazy. So like, I get it. I 100% get it.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Number one quarterback overall has not boded well. The last two Super Bowl champions, Sam Darnold, Jalen Hurts. You know, the number one overall pick isn't always the guy. And nobody would say this is the best quarterback we've seen since Joe Burrow. He's had the best season since Joe Burrow, but I think they're putting a lot on the kid. Personally, if I was Fernando Mendoza, I would have stayed at Indiana one more year. The money is better. I'd have been chilling. Would have been good. And you're gonna go to the Raiders and stink. They're gonna stink bad, and he's gonna look like a bust. When we all know he's no better than Cam Ward. Cam Ward went first overall last year, and the Titans were dumpster juice.
I don't think it's going to be too bad because it's going to sell tickets. That's the main thing. Not to get too like demographic, but we know the demographic for the Raiders is dominantly Hispanic.
Yeah. His jersey is going to sell like hotcakes. Triple platinum in the streets. It's going to go triple platinum in the streets.
Him handing the ball up to Jency, him passing the ball to Brock Bowers, that's going to be a young, exciting trio that's going to sell some tickets. So I think that's why they're investing in this kid.
When you put it like that, you can make some money. They won't be good I don't think they'll be a playoff team for a minute. But they will sell some jerseys. Orale, Raiders! Orale!
Yeah.
Viva las Raiders! The Doyers going to go for three-peat. And the Raiders are going to win 8 games max. All right, man. So we went this Saturday to the California Showcase, the high school, junior college, D2, D3, NAIA combine workout scholarship opportunity. I've gotten word that 168 kids got scholarships out of the 500 kids, which is pretty cool. But just being your first one, what is your initial takeaway from the showcase?
A lot of guys didn't come prepared. I'll say that. You quickly see why a lot of people are in the situation that they're in. We saw a bunch of different reasons. Bad grades. They had the labeling of their uniforms. There were guys that were scholars. They got to wear red, and the guys that didn't, they had to wear gray. Like, stuff like that plays a factor. The coaches are looking at that. Technique. A lot of guys' technique was off. A lot of guys brought their girlfriend to the thing, and then the coaches were like, "What are you doing, man?" Like,
that was wild. You gonna bring your girlfriend to the combine? We saw that last night at the boxing gym. We were at Cannon Nation Boxing. training. And Coach Cam got on one of her boxers who's an up-and-coming fighter on the sideline with his girlfriend. And she got after him, said, "Get off your girlfriend and get on the ground and give me 200 sit-ups." And I looked over like, wow, he brought his girlfriend to the boxing gym just to sit there and distract him. I said, my man is unserious.
Yeah, Coach Cam was giving us diamond gym numbers yesterday. She talking about, so as soon as we got there, 30 burpees, 200 sit-ups, like that was hilarious. I knocked them all out.
Yeah, you 20 years old. I told her, I said, listen here, crazy Filipino woman. I am 52. I didn't come here for no burpees. I came here to box and get my cardio up, but I ain't trying to do no bear crawls, duck walks, burpees. I'm gonna give you a half a bear, half a duck, and the slowest burpees you ever gonna see. So yeah, man, the California Showcase reminded me of how prepared we were at Long Beach Poly, how prepared you were when I informed you of the things that I was taught and how to prepare for a camp, for a showcase, when we sent you to Redlands and how we got you right. A lot of kids didn't come right. They came fresh off the street, probably haven't worked out in a while. Even one of our own, our friends, I'm not going to say his name, but his dad said he was out of shape and trying to run a 40. And I'm like, well, how dare you come here out of shape? And there were some guys there who have never ran a 40, never done a broad jump. And then they had one-on-ones. Guys were grabbing and pass interference and like just being super aggressive. One guy had the nerve to talk back to me as I said, hey man, watch the grabbing. The scouts don't want to see all that grabbing. And he said, it's football. And I'm like, that wasn't good football. You tackled somebody in shirts and shorts before the ball came and you grabbed him twice. He's like, oh, you soft. That's football. That's aggressive football. And I said, okay, well, that's why you're here. Because he was a junior college kid. So he already been through high school. And now he's trying to make it out of junior college. And if you don't make it out of junior college, out of the season, that means you got overlooked or you got bad technique like he had. But it took another coach to say, hey, man, that's a coach that you're arguing with who's trying to help you. That's your problem. And we were both walking as James Washington, one of the camp directors, UCLA great, Super Bowl MVP, NFL legend, says to the best looking kid at the camp, he said, what did he do wrong? And I didn't get it at first when he was asking. I was like, well, he didn't get low on his drills. He's like, no, what did he do wrong to be here? And I'm like, oh, a number of things. First and foremost, he didn't take care of his books. And then maybe he didn't get, recruited as much as some others, but he looked like a player.
Yeah.
And I imagine that happens a lot. But when you do get an opportunity to showcase your talent,
yeah,
like when you were coming out of high school and we went to Redlands camp, mega camp, to showcase your talent, and they were offering scholarships on the spot, what was your mindset going in?
Stand out. That was it. My mindset was to stand out, be somebody that they would want to talk to, want to watch. So everything I did was a show. I put on a show. I made sure all my reps are full speed. A lot of the drills I never done before, but I acted like I was there before. A lot of the guys that we saw this Saturday, they didn't do that. You could tell it was their first time doing some of those things. So it was just like, you got to act like you've been there before, even if you haven't. Wear something that stands out. A lot of guys go over the top with it, but if you do it, but it's subtle, just do something now you to stick out from the rest. Because there's a lot of kids out there. That's all I got to say.
Well, I know I informed you to wear a piece of clothing that was different color. I think the USC camp, I had you wear orange shorts. Mm-hmm. That way you would look different than everyone else wearing black shorts. and blue shorts and green shorts. You had the orange shorts on, and you wore. I think you wore. Did you wear an undersleeve, under
White
long
sleeves.
white sleeves underneath the camp shirt? So you at least stand out a little bit, because it was like 1,000 kids at the SC camp. This California showcase had 400 to 500 kids, and like you said, different colors meant different levels. Some academic, some just designated you as JUCO, and others were high school. Coaches, before you allow your student athletes to go to a camp or tryout, I think it's your duty to prep them. Don't have them go out there looking brand new or going out there and not having any idea what to expect.
I agree. Yeah.
If they're going to be one-on-ones, what's your student athlete's best technique? Press, two-hand press, one-hand press, off. They need to do their best technique until the scouts say play something else. Because you only have a couple of reps. The guys were chomping at the bit to get reps and cutting the lines, and it's always dog eat dog. Then you go out there. I had a receiver in my receiver group arguing with the quarterback. And I says, quarterback is your lifeline, man. If you got him mad at you and you're mad at him, you think you're getting the ball? He's going to throw it to somebody else every single time. If my advice to you is to go over there and say, hey, man, I'll buy you a burger, but I'm going to be wide open. Hook me up. I'm going to hook you up. You hook me up. Like, I don't know you from Adam. You from a different school. But look this way. One receiver was like, man, you've been throwing it right all day. You haven't thrown left yet. And like, criticizing your quarterback will sure enough keep you from getting the ball.
Yeah.
So I was like, you guys don't know how to play the game, man. It's chess, not checkers. Do not make your quarterback mad, because he has the decision to make. It's 7-on-7 and team who he's going to throw the ball to. So, but it was a great event, though, as far as it being free. I was hit up on Insta. I got hit up on Messenger and asked me if the event. I posted some of the clips from the event. They asked, was it legit? I'm like, it was free, and 168 kids got scholarship offers. They weren't full scholarships, but they were partial, and a school is saying you can come play here. So it is definitely a beneficial, and it definitely is something that kids who don't get full rides out of high school can benefit from. Now, there are a lot of camps where you got to pay, and there are not going to be any offers. I know Redlands has a small fee, but you do get scholarship offers if you're the guy. But you have to come to the camp prepared.
Yes.
You can't come off the street, and you can't come late. There was too many kids that came late. That was crazy to me. You didn't register. You're a walk up, and you walk up late.
That's a bad look, man.
There will be no scholarship for you. It's your pleasure to meet me? No, that's not how this works, man. You're trying to make a good impression, like a job interview. And then, at the tent, you had kids who were too cool to introduce themselves, to shake hands, to have eye contact. So all that soft skills that you should have learned in high school at some point. Again, coaches, please teach your student athletes how to present themselves to scouts. Firm handshake, eye contact. Talk with your chest out, shoulders back.
That's why I'm so thankful for Coach Rudy. He got me right. He told me how to greet myself when it comes to a college coach. A lot of them are looking for certain things, and you'll quickly see that. And if you carry yourself in a way that seems like you were trained, they don't have to worry about those things. It's a much better look. Coming early to something is the least. That's like the bare minimum. Like coming late to a free camp clearly shows that you don't want it. Of course, I don't know what situation you were in prior to that, but you could have got into a car accident or something like that. But like, at the end of the day, if all that stuff is avoidable, make sure that you are putting your best foot forward, because at the end of the day, this is your future. So you gotta fight for the future that you want. So,
amen. You have to. Otherwise, your shot will be your last shot. And there were some kids out there that were getting closure. They needed you. They needed to just try out. They needed to give it a shot.
Yeah.
We saw a couple of kids that we knew from back in the day, and they got another shot. And that's all you can really want. And getting a degree was the goal of the camp. Nobody here is going to the NFL. Somebody might, but realistically, the possibilities are really, really slim if you got to this point. And it's still hard to see your talent. Like, I don't think anybody ran faster than a 4.6. And that's being generous. I was keeping track of some of the times, and the fast dudes were 4.6. So the guys who didn't know how to run, 4.8, 4.9, 5 flat, 5.1, 5.2.
Yeah, the fastest 40 I saw all day was a 4-point stance. He came up that thing like he had blood. It was not.
I mean, if it rendered a fast time, I guess whatever works. But if you go to the combine, the 4-point stance, they're going to have you raise that hand up, and you're going to be back at square one, not having a technique to use. So, research. Young men, if you go into a job interview, research the company. You go into a combine, what am I going to be asked to do? YouTube's your friend. L test, the short shuttle, the 40, the vertical jump, the broad jump, all this stuff could be on the test. So you might want to try it. I always make you guys do combine drills. So when it's time for the combine, you good. It's not foreign. You're going to have some foreign drills no matter what team you join or whatever camp you go to. But don't let that be all the drills. The drills you do know, kill it. You should be the fastest, most confident. But when they're doing something new, watch somebody else do it wrong, watch somebody do it right. That's who you go after. That's who you follow. Oh, well. I think you'll get a call next year to be a coach once again. Shout out to Coach Bob Fields, who one of the organizers who brought us drill boys back. Phil, Derek, Paul, myself, a bunch of other guys out there. Ron Pitts. Coach Norm Chow was out there coaching quarterbacks. James Washington was out there giving pep talks. I think he said, if you're walking, what was his motto? If you're walking, you're not winning. If you're
walking, you're not
working.
I don't know.
If you walking, you're not working. I gotta give James a call. This reminds me, I gotta give him a call. I appreciate all the Bruins who watched the podcast and said, keep up the good work. I appreciate y'all. It's good to hear that y'all actually watched the show. You can maybe make this kid get some NIL these last couple of years of college for him. Other storyline I wanted to talk about. I'm not sure if you were familiar with it, but the Sherone Moore, the head coach of Michigan, who went through all that drama and his infidelity, messing around with a staffer at the University of Michigan in the coach's office or whatever he was doing. Turns out they're going to drop the case. Turns out he was set up. And we all knew he was set up. They didn't want him to be coach. Coach Harbaugh appointed him the coach.
Yeah.
He did not beat Ohio State. They got him up out of there by any means necessary. So his name might get a little bit of love because it sounds like everyone's gonna be under notice that he was set up.
Yeah.
Still, brothers, you have to know the score. You can't be out here living your best life not knowing the game that's being played. Here, this man is married with children, messing around with his staffer, got her pregnant, made her do a Plan B test, a Plan B pill, and ordered the Plan B pill with a Postmates, leaving paper trails. He crashes out, so it all ends up bad. But now it's going to come back as well. The initial part of this whole thing was a setup, but since you crashed out, you made our lives, you made it look even that more believable.
Yeah.
Unfortunate, man. Guys gotta do better. Guys gotta be smarter. Guys gotta know what's really going on. I saw a post on Instagram. You can get down with this one. You're a hooper.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think LA Fitness is closing down all the basketball courts?
They're trying to reach a different demographic. But what they don't realize is that it's going to send a lot of the guys to 24 hour. I know they're trying to reach this new demographic of power lifters and gym influencers. I have no problem with those people, but why can't we have both? Basketball, a lot of guys go to LA Fitness just to get their cardio in and play basketball. It was a tradition for a lot of guys, like me, my dad. We would just go there sometimes and just play ball, like pick up 5-on-5. Some of those are some of the most memorable days I've had at the gym in my life. So it's just like it hurts to see a lot of courts getting taken down. I saw the 24-hour fitness basketball court in Lakewood was getting shut down. I'm like, why is everybody getting rid of their basketball courts? Eventually, all we're gonna have is street ball. So it's just like, I don't know what they're trying to like do. They're trying to establish more powerlifting buildings, but it's like we still need to make room for those basketball courts because a lot of guys still hoop, and hooping is a very widespread tradition in America.
Well, here it is, Black History Month, and I'm gonna play that card one more time. Who plays basketball at LA Fitness? The brothers. Who gets into scuffles every time there's an argument? The brothers. And all these fights are on tape. There's a camera inside the gym, brothers. So not only do they get to change the demographic, they tried it with the eSporta.
That didn't work.
Some of the LA Fitness has turned into eSporta, and we were like, that ain't going to stop the bros from hooping. We were still in there getting it in. They messed up my morning routine, man. I used to shoot for 30 minutes every morning before I swam my laps.
Yeah. And
then they closed it down, and then a week later, it was a Olympic lift, 10 rack booty machines on the side for those who are trying to do the BBL thing. And like you said, powerlifting, it's empty. There's nobody in there. Nobody knows how to lift like that unless you are a serious lifter. And how an athlete, they got the mats, they got the weights. It looks cool. I go in there, but I'm not lifting heavy. I put a 25 on there, at the most a 45 on there. Do some hang clings.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do no 300-pound deadlifts anymore. I saw a kid in there trying to do 3 plates on a deadlift. He almost killed himself. All that to say we got cross training or CrossFit equipment. Ain't no CrossFitters around here, man.
Man, there still needs to be room for hoop. Like some days, don't tell me that they shut down the court in Whittier.
I haven't been back in a while, but I saw a post and it said all of them are shutting down. So I'm like, nah, they can't do it all. That would just be flat out places, racist, and dumb.
My question there would be, where would we go to play indoor basketball? Do we have to go to an AAU gym? Like, do we have to, like, Next Level or somewhere like that? Like, where would we go in response to that? Because, like, if we can't hoop at the gym, where are we gonna hoop at? Do we have to hoop on them concrete courts?
We gotta protest, man. We gotta protest. Picket signs, bullhorns outside of LA Fitness. Bring back basketball. Bring back basketball. Otherwise, we will be playing at the map. We could play at, like you said, 24-hour fitness. Today shut theirs down.
Yeah.
At our home gyms, at our schools we work for. The Jewish Center is not going to let basketball go. You know, people actually still hoop at the Jewish Center, like every Sunday during church. Heathens hooping at the Jewish Center on Sunday.
It's like I don't live close to the Jewish Center. Like I want to be able to go to my local gym and play basketball. Is that too much to ask?
We got Cerritos and Whittier. That's all we got left. Every Friday I drive to Cerritos to get my shots up. Now that my car is fixed, I'm gonna get back into that. It's just a good workout, man. I don't know why. I don't like lifting weights anymore.
Yeah.
Everything hurts. Now you gotta lift weights because you still playing. I ain't gonna lift weights no more. I just swim, lift a little bit, shoot my baskets, box, ride my bike. All right, man. So let me see what we got left. I think that's about it, man. So training wise, you getting pretty good at getting your bearings back about tight end position. What's the progress? How are you feeling? What can we expect? My arm is getting sore because you're in a good groove. How would you say your progress is coming with the rebranding from DN to tight end?
I'd say I'm gonna turn a lot of heads this season. Keep an eye out on me because I look to put some electric film on tape. What I'm aiming for is something spectacular. So I want y'all to don't nobody count me out yet. We're about to put ourselves back on the map. That's all I can say.
We face some hateration at the camp from a junior college coach who told Alex it's too hard to make it from D3 back to D1. I wanted to preach in that moment. I wanted to say, well, you don't know the God that I serve. And what's for me is for me. The things of the past are the things of the past. I'm going to speak things into existence. And I'm going to let Yeshua do what he does. If my son believes this is what it's going to be, I believe what this is going to be. And you're going to have way more opportunities than you would have had you stayed in the previous two spots where you might have been waiting till your last year to get some burn. And still, before you go ahead.
I was going to say what I'm hoping comes out of just this situation is just I inspire a lot of guys that are coming after me to make the same decision. Just like look at your predicament. Where are you at? Are you playing? You can be at a respected Division One. I could do this. I can do the same, but it's just like you're not seeing the field. You're not playing and putting the film on tape that you're hoping to. I know my measurables. I know my athleticism. I know my talents. I don't want to keep those on the bench. So I'm gonna go somewhere. I have the humility to go somewhere that not too many people respect, just to showcase myself. And I know that with my talents, my God-given ability, that I will be able to put amazing film on tape, and then it will reach eyes that people don't expect it to. So it's just like it's all about having favor in your life and just believing in yourself and in your situation. Of course, I wouldn't recommend the same thing for you.
It ain't for everybody. If you were just a regular player, yeah, it'd be hard to stand out. But I think what we have is a perfect situation.
Yep.
With the Whittier's coaches so excited and designing plays, designing an offense around you, that's an ideal situation. So I can't wait to see it. I really can't wait to see it. It's going to be awesome. Let's see. Anything else we got? Jimmy Mack's in the house. Mac, I got to give you a call, man. Because I know you took a team to the CIF championship. I might need to talk to you a little bit about the do's and don'ts. Because I might have something on the horizon. So I'm going to holler at you real quick. Dr. Frazier's in here. He said, I hear you, young man. Keep grinding.
Thank you.
Hey, man. We don't want to hear no I told you so's or, man, I knew you was going to be good. You either with me or you against me. That coach didn't. Oh, yeah. Preach.
You know God has a plan for you. You're not worried about where you currently are. Everybody that is laughing at my situation, laugh. You can laugh. Go ahead. Go ahead and kick me while I'm down. When I'm up and I'm standing over you, I don't want to hear nothing.
They laughed at you when you were a freshman basketball player. And not none of those kids got a scholarship in any sport. And I think what Coach said was Coach Cooper, Dwayne Cooper said, y'all making jokes because these guys are 14, 15 years old, but wait till he turns 17. He said something about giraffes seem a little...
He called me a giraffe in the speech.
Yeah.
And that's what caused a lot of guys to laugh. And then he pivoted and he said, y'all laughing, but a giraffe when it gets older can kick a lion and kill it.
Everybody was kind of quiet at that point. And I was like, okay, well, that'll work. The analogy now makes a little bit more sense. Because at first I was like, why would you give them boys that kind of energy? Because you know they silly. And they think very highly of themselves.
Yeah.
But look at you now. Oh boy, it's going to be special. All right, man. The combine is going on. So if you have not checked out your position, this is Coach Cobb's Corner. I have a lot of student athletes I'm trying to mentor right now. What are you doing to be like the players who have gotten to a level that you want to achieve? And our last segment, let's just turn it into a men's mental health segment. And I think it starts off right now with Mac. He says, negative noise becomes voided after the work is done and it pays off.
Amen.
If you put the work in, and we're going to tap into some Coach Va-isms. You put the work in so you can eat. Mm-hmm. If you put the work in, yes, you're going to get laughed at. Yes, you're going to be called a tryhard. But guess what? At the end, you'll be eating, and those who had something to say will be asking for a piece of what you got. Yep. And you keep all receipts like Shador. Keep all receipts like anybody else. Michael Jordan. Who else kept receipts? You be a receipt keeper, not to be revenge seeking, but to be somebody who knows that all this is fuel. All that doubted me, wait till I'm on top. And I'm going to say, I told you so. You don't believe in nothing, believe in me, because I'm going to put the work in. And mental health wise, remember, it's just a sport. And it's a very short part of your life. It is not who you are, it's what you do. But while you're doing it, give it everything you got. So when you're done with the game, you ain't got to come out of retirement like Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather to prove nothing to anybody. Now, I don't think they're doing it to prove anything. I know they're about to get paid. But, That's a whole nother conversation. Are you going to watch that fight?
We'll see how I feel.
See how you feel. I'm going to watch it. I know they're going to dance. And I'm pretty sure Floyd's going to win. Floyd is not going to take an L at this point in his life. No. It's going to be in the contract. Hey, Pacquiao, you want this $100 million? Better let me get that dub. Or that $100 million goes to $50 million. He's like, I'll take $50 million. I'll take $50 million. All right, man. It's time to get something to eat. I gotta feed this kid before he eats the microphone. I gotta put you on blast, man. That's what parents are supposed to do. I'm supposed to embarrass you a little bit. If I'm gonna be and OG, I gotta keep you in your place. Young whippersnapper. Here comes Mac. Mac likes to put that period on things. Mental health awareness is about self-awareness and understanding who you are and how God can put his assistance in your life to help you. But you have to believe in the work you put it to build your defense against your own self-doubt. Amen.
Dropping
bars after bars. I'm gonna call you J Mac or J Cole Mac. Bars. So you figure those Ronyale Moore types needed somebody, an assistant that God put in his life, whether it was JJ Watt, whether it was Justin Jefferson, anybody that he could confide in could have helped prevent this. But if guys are so secluded into themselves, you will never get that assistance from whoever God put in your life to speak life into you. I truly believe that. Appreciate that word of wisdom, Mac. That's a good note to go out on.
Yep.
Until next time on the AC Sports Live Show. Peace and blessings. Oh boy, where'd that come from? I've been congested for 2 weeks. Be easy. Love your family. Love your friends. Tomorrow's not promised, so go get it. Opportunities are knocking. Go get it. Write that book. Invent that contraption. Do it. Do what you feel is necessary to fulfill your purpose. And don't let anybody tell you you can't. All right, y'all. We out, man. Yeah, love yourself. I love myself. I love God. You love God? All right, man. We out. and here's your mom. She jumps on laughing. You love God?
She gonna get you for that.
You love God? I love God. All right, y'all. We out.